Hello again, Weather Shield. Jim here with our next series. So we completed our core behaviors that related to our achiever core value. Today we're going to start looking at our care personally core value and talk about the first of our core behaviors that relates to that. And this core behavior is first because it is absolutely foundational to caring personally, and that is make safety number one. It is frankly impossible to care for others and ourselves if we don't make safety number one. And this applies obviously on the roof, but for those of you even who work around the office or in the warehouse, please don't think this is just for the roofing people and not for you. We had somebody who was shoveling some snow recently, just shoveling the sidewalk or driveway, and fell down and broke a bone. So this can happen in the office environment or warehouse environment just as well as on the roof. There are a couple aspects of this that I want to think about. So the first is, how do we make safety number one for those around us externally? And I want to give you here, again, as I often do, a principle, and the principle is this: we have to care enough to disrupt. Care enough to disrupt. If we see something unsafe happening, we have to care enough to call a timeout, to press the stop button on the production line and correct it. Anything less is a failure to truly love that person and care about them personally. So, care enough to disrupt the work process. Care enough to disrupt what's happening. Care enough to disrupt their workflow, to call a timeout and do an immediate course correction if you see something that is putting someone in jeopardy. So outwardly facing. Inwardly facing, I want you to think about yourself and what it means to make safety number one as it relates to you. I heard an interesting statistic that when people go see a doctor and the doctor gives them a prescription, there are 1/3 of the people who don't even go get the prescription filled. They just don't bother. 2/3 of the people do get their prescription filled, but of those 2/3, the majority don't take the prescription exactly the way that it's prescribed. They miss days, or they forget, or they don't take the whole thing until it's done. Conversely, those same people, if they take their dog to the vet, they will make sure that their dog gets that medicine, so they fulfill the prescription and they give that dog that medicine every single day with his food. So why is it that we take better care of our dog than ourselves? I think the key here, and what I'd like you to focus on, what I'd like you to think about, is treat yourself like someone you value. Treat yourself like someone that you value. Self-care, making safety number one for yourself, is every bit as important as making safety number one for those around you. So, treat yourself like someone you value, and outwardly care enough to disrupt. My assignment for you is to think about the ways that you may not be caring for yourself the way you should, and think of one thing that you want to change, one thing that you want to correct with that. And number two, I want you to talk about ways that you may have walked past an unsafe situation because you didn't want to bother people. You didn't want to interrupt or disrupt. And set your mind today, now, set your mind to be a disruptor whenever necessary when it comes to safety.